Hello and welcome back to the GMBN Racing Show, everybody, with myself, Rich Payne. You join me in the final days of the UCI Mountain Bike World Series here in the Haute-Savoie region of France, where we've got everything from XC bikes to enduro bikes to e-bikes, all coming up in the show. Now, before we even get into the racing, the rumour mill was running pretty hardcore this weekend with confirmed redundancies, if you like, of the Ibis and Da Vinci Enduro teams. They will not be around for the upcoming seasons. After this round, which has happened, they are no more. Riders like Evan Wall, Greg Callahan, Zacharias Johansson, Cole Lucas, all out of the job effectively for next year. Now, I tried to catch up with these guys and I couldn't really find a sort of definitive answer, if you like. And there's also rumours of maybe more teams jumping suit. Maybe you've got your own theory on this. If you have, let us know down below. But anyway, on with the racing. Kicking off the weekend's racing was the cross-country marathon. And, you know, I don't like to say, but I actually took part myself in this one, albeit in the open category. And what a course it was. 100-kilometre long with 4,000 metres of ascent, and it even crossed over the border into Switzerland. In the women's category, it was first-time winner for Vera Lusa, who took it home in a time of 6 hours and 9 minutes 50 seconds, battling all the way with Leia Nimchevic, who was on her tail kind of the whole way. They were battling right up until the final descent, where they would switch around quite a lot, but eventually Lusa pulling away and getting a 1-minute 41 gap. In third place was Irina Lutzelschwab, 7 minutes and 12 seconds back. On to the men's race, and there was all sorts of drama kicking off here, with riders pulling out left, right and centre. One of the victims was Wout Alleman, pulling out halfway through as he claimed it was just too tough and he wasn't feeling up to it, with a bit of illness sort of citing reason there. Current overall leader Fabio Rabensteiner had a bit of a tough race, dropped down to 9th, but still remains leading the overall with 1 round left to go in snowshoe. The pace at the front of the men's race was absolutely relentless, and I'm glad I was nowhere near it, because winner Hector Leonardo Paez Leon set a blistering time of 4 hours and 50 minutes. Diego Rosa, second place, only 32 seconds behind after nearly 5 hours of racing, is absolutely insane. And Andreas Seewald was another 2 minutes and 18 back. Next up in our weekends of racing, it was on to the EDRE, and it was the final round here in France. Based over in Châtel, the riders had 10 stages awaiting them, full of all sorts of tricks, challenges and different obstacles. Mick Hanna would have a great ride for the Yeti Fox factory team, only 6.17 seconds back off the leader. Thiago Ladera of the Miranda factory team was only 0.18 seconds off the lead. Kevin Marry of the Lapierre Zip Collective would take the win with a time of 29 minutes and 19 seconds. That would make it one of the tightest EDRE races yet. Fabien Barel, who was looking strong all weekend, unfortunately would get a 1-minute time penalty, costing him the lead, and he got it for actually missing a section of liaison. However, although finishing down the order of this race, he would still claim the first ever UCI EDRE men's overall. In the elite women's, racing was as tight as ever, even closer than the men's in fact. Ines Toma would put in a stonking ride for third place, but being pipped by Tracy Mosley, just going to show that she still got the pace to run it with the best of them. However, first place would go to Flo Espinière of the Orbea Fox factory team. However, timing was an insane 34 minutes 46 seconds was the lead time. Tracy Mosley just 0.04 of a second off of that. What insane racing, but also congratulations to Flo Espinière, who not only took the round win here in France, but also the overall. On to the final race of the weekend then, the EDR race. Coming from just over the mountains behind me, it was an unbelievable day's racing. 58-kilometre loop, 7 stages and 3,600 metres of descent is what awaited the riders ahead of them. 2 days of practice, split with a gap in between, was a little different to the normal format, but the riders didn't seem to mind it on the whole. Some fresh cut stages and some bike park stages mixed things up to really give a big variation for all the riders to enjoy. In the women's field, it was an all French and British domination of the top 5. Melanie Poujan in 5th, Ella Connolly 4th, Hattie Harnden, strong ride into 3rd. Isabeau Corderia battled it out but came 2nd, and Morgan Schart won with a time of 27 minutes and 54. Only Gloria Scarzi, Noga Karem and Barbara Wojcik could break up sort of that top 5, getting into a top 5 overall on certain stages. That top 3 in the overall today would also reflect the top 3 overall in the series. Hattie Harnden in 3rd place, Morganshah in second again, and Isabeau Corderia taking that #1 spot. On to the elite men's EDR now, and it is a heck of a day with a dominant display from Jesse Melamed, winning 4 of 7 stages today. The only other riders to take a stage win were Moya, Rudo and Dan Booker, each putting in stonking rides, but that speed and consistency of Jesse's riding would be enough to give him the overall on the day with a time of 23:57. Alex Rudo would take second place with another strong ride, and Richie Rude in third place. Amazingly, joint fourth went to Dan Booker and Slavomir Lukacic, who Dan Booker getting a career best would have exactly the same time as each other. A quick shout out though to Dylan Levesque. The elite downhill rider would go on to take 8th overall on the day without really having done any kind of EDR racing in the past. In the men's overall, it was enough for Richie Rude to take it once again. Jesse Melamed in second and Alex Rudo also coming away with an amazing third place. That's it here from myself from a jam-packed UCI Mountain Bike World Series Festival here in the Haute-Savoie region of France. Let me know, are you still looking forward to the racing that's coming up this year? We've still got XC, we've still got downhill and another round of marathon to come. Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget you can watch all highlights and racing here on GMBN Racing or over on the GCN Plus app.